Well, it's time to unplug the freezer again of the fridge because I had just grocery shopped, and I was gonna put in the groceries, and then I did, and then I realized quickly after that well, now it's unplugged, but the freezer was warm, so I had to leave the groceries at my mother's apartment and unplug this, which is my usual trick when this happens, when the fridge turns off. The freezer always works, but the fridge has a tendency of turning off. It's happened a few times, and I just have to unplug the power cord and then plug it in again a couple of days later, and it usually starts back up. I don't think I should have to keep doing this, but it's been a couple of years since this happened now, so I just deal with it. Yeah, I don't know, but it was really frustrating because I had just been grocery shopping. I was looking forward to eating those sandwiches that I bought, and I just had to yeah, so I have no food at home now, at least not in the fridge, but hopefully it's gonna start back up. I am actually gonna continue working on these books. These are Grandma's books. I may have talked about that in a recent vlog. I haven't uploaded that vlog yet because I had some issues, technical issues, so I don't know if that's up, but by the time you see this. I'm gonna go down to the basement. I just did yesterday, and I picked up 2 days ago. I picked one big box of books because, like I said, this is so messy. Sorry, but Grandma's books. She moved to a retirement home last year, so I brought all of her books with me, and it's some really interesting stuff. So I've been listing this stuff online for sale because nobody's gonna want these, and I don't know what to do with them otherwise. But there's some pretty cool little pamphlets and things that nobody has up for sale that I just thought that I could list. There are some cool magazines actually, somewhere here. The Systematic Approach to Long Hair Graphics, 1979. So I like stuff like this because it's like it's a curiosity. Like, nobody has stuff like this. The Hairstylist magazine from April 1982. These two happen to be in English, but most of this is in Swedish. But stuff like this, I just couldn't, let this be thrown out or given away to somebody, to some secondhand store. So I took care of it because I thought it was worth saving. She was a hairdresser for many years. She actually worked in New York, I think, in the 50s. This is kind of fun, tanning, with Arnold Schwarzenegger on the cover. Anyway, so a bunch of fun little things, and she was a big fan of. She is a big fan of art as well, and she's an artist herself. In fact, she had what's it called? Exhibitions over the years. So she's a big fan of art. So there's all these art books and all these interesting things that I just thought that I could list up for sale because, why not? But there's a lot more where this came from. So I'm gonna go down to the basement. It's actually 4 a.m. so it's a bit of a weird time to do this, but I'm up, and I can't sleep. Or I can, but not now. I just sleep all over the place, like I've already said in the past. Actually, I need to make a laundry appointment, so why not do that while I'm here? Alright, so there's a bunch of stuff here that is my grandma's. If I was unclear, she moved last year to a retirement home, and I kept a bunch of this stuff. A lot of it has been thrown out and and so on, but I kept lots of it, and she apparently asked for photo albums to be brought over to her room at the retirement home. So some of this stuff is gonna be, I don't know exactly where the albums are, but there's somewhere here in this mess. But I'm looking for the books, which I happen to know are here and there. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 more boxes of books. So lots and lots of books. I was so sweaty carrying these down last year and so tired, and my back really hurt. I think I overpacked these. But yeah, let's bring up another box. I don't know which one to bring up next. I guess just any random one. Okay, they are heavy. So round 2, I guess, that took me a number of hours. But it was actually kind of fun going through all this. I mean, I already have gone through it because I've picked and chosen what I want to keep. Because a lot of this was thrown out because I mean, a lot of her books was thrown out because they weren't interesting. But a bunch I kept, like I said, like 7 of these boxes. So yeah, but it was kind of fun going through and kind of looking at what we had, what I have to work with, because I have this online store, so this is kind of fuel for the store, if you will. A lot of interesting stuff that nobody else has online. So, oh, and I bought these post bags from the National Post Service, and they are just lousy as fuck. First of all, the shipping for these books are kind of difficult to figure out because they're kind of flat. They're difficult to pack, so I'm gonna have to invest in a bunch of envelopes. But I unwisely bought these before I realized that they're completely useless because, you know, the big books, they don't fit. This is large, but it's really tiny, and the material is, you can see it's already broken, and they're so expensive, so I really regret buying that nonsense. And I know in the past they were more padded, so they really cheapened out. But you know, over the past several years, the post service in Sweden have increased the prices of stamps continuously, and they have decreased the amount of days that they deliver the mail and so on, because people don't ship as much anymore. So it's yeah, they've asked for financial support from the government because they have a hard time keeping it up. But it is kind of frustrating when things get worse and more expensive. But yeah, so I shouldn't have bought these because the small books, they fit, but they're much cheaper to ship in different ways. So I'm not gonna find any use for those. But anyway, it's annoying. I mean, she has some really quite nice, beautiful. It's so obvious that she has always been interested in art because, like, I mean, looking through old people's book collections, yeah, I mean, I think my grandmother's taste was definitely on the interesting side. Like, some of these books are really unique and beautiful pictures, and I just think it would be such a shame if they were to be thrown out or not. I mean, if I can do something with these and move them on and sell them, then that's better than throwing them out. But like these books are beautiful, you know. Art Nouveau. Yeah, that's in English. But like, yeah, she really educated herself over the years in all of this stuff, and history and nautic books and all kinds of magazines and pamphlets and stuff from. Anyway, I can go through this in detail, but I don't think that people are interested necessarily. But I just thought I'd show like a selection here because I think these are quite nice to go through, and yeah. Sorry, but these pictures are just really beautiful. I don't even know what they are. This was the art. This was the Max Walter Swanberg. Whoever that is. Very interesting paintings, drawings, whatever. Alright, that's the second box done. I'm struggling now to, you know, come up with a good solution how to order these, because it's such a it's a mess, but I have limited space. I'm gonna have to stack some stuff here in the windowsill. I think maybe on top here if I remove this stuff. And I could move this shelving unit here, which mostly just carries empty DVD cases and some clothes on top. But I can remove those. I can put the empty DVD cases in like a box and carry down to the basement and move the shelf here. If I push that in a bit, then that shelf can fit here. Yeah, and I can have the books on that. So I think maybe I'll have to do that. It is kind of tricky to organize everything, cataloging everything and making sure that I can find everything when I've sold it, because this is, like I said, this is two boxes. All of these books here are 2 boxes. There are some things that I couldn't really sell for various reasons, and I have 5 more of those, or at least 4. So it's a lot of books to kind of, yeah, I have to make sure that I will be able to find them when I sell them, because I'm not familiar with the books from before, so I have to know how to find them. So I have to come up with a good system. But I think I'll be able to work something out. But yeah. Now I guess I'm gonna go and I've sold a couple things that I need to ship. I hate this situation. You know, I really hate this. I wanna eat my sandwiches, damn it, but I can't. What can I eat today? I don't even have anything in here that I wanna eat. I have pasta and ketchup. That's about it. I'm gonna have to buy something just for today, I guess. Okay, so I've now been awake for about 17 hours and I'm gonna order a pizza, which is a very strange time to do that at about 3 p.m. But I'm noticing here how much water is actually dripping down from the fridge. This is the 5th towel that I'm using, that I'm soaking up. I guess defrosting might have been a good idea. Meanwhile, I mean, that's not why I unplugged, obviously, but I guess I'm getting that for free. Anyway, the pizza place opens up in an hour. So I'm gonna order a pizza from them as soon as they open. I sold 2 of Grandma's books. Alphonse Musha. This is in Swedish, I think, and this is in English, so it's differently spelled. But I've never heard of this artist before, but I think I may have shown you pictures of this earlier, I don't know. But yeah, these 2 sold, so that's good. Also, I kind of fucked up. I bought some of these candy bar that I haven't tried, and some pick and mix candy. Way too much. I was only gonna buy a few. Well, let's have a piece, shall we? Let's try something new. This was a Icelandic, I don't even know what, Icelandic chocolate, maybe licorice inside. Is it? I think that's just fudge. No, maybe, no. There's a bit of salty licorice in there. You can't really see it. Well, it's mediocre. You would think, after having had nothing but oatmeal and protein powder for 17 hours, for some reason, this would be good. It's not really that good. I just thought that I wanted to make this a nice afternoon with some pizza and some snacks. If I keep doing this, I'm gonna balloon back up. Well, there it is. This happens sometimes when you struggle with these things. Anyway, the last couple of days have actually been quite productive. I mean, first of all, you can see the books now are in the window. I think I'm gonna just keep the big books unalphabetized, because I can pretty easily, if I just make a mental note of the fact that the big books are here, if I just keep a few dozen books here, I'll know that. And then maybe the smaller books, like I said, I'll bring the shelf, put that here, push that to the side, and then put the shelf here, the other one, that one, and then alphabetize the small books. and then I put the magazines and the pamphlets in one pile. But she has a lot of that stuff, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to organize those, because that might be a bit tricky to find. Like a random magazine in a huge pile of magazines might be a bit time consuming, so I'm still trying to figure these things out. But these books here, I've taken pictures of them. You can see they were a bit different. The first couple of boxes were a bunch of big books, and then this box, mostly small books. This is the tiniest one, and I'm gonna list it up for sale, because why not? I'm gonna charge $1. Anyway, I don't know. No, damn it. Well, so I've taken pictures of these, but I haven't listed anything yet. These were in order though. Now I don't know which ones fell down where they were. Anyway, I'll figure that out. Yeah. And I found some DVDs recently as well. Oh, the Franklin Cover-Up, that's a conspiracy book that I read years and years ago. I'm gonna sell that, but the DVDs here that I found at a local secondhand store, they were pretty good finds. So I'm gonna list those as well. I have kept a few things of what I bought. So I found something called Catch the Dream. I don't know what this is, but I can't resist for $1 or less. Go Straight Home, an 11-minute documentary. Mission Against Terror. Looks very small produced. I have no idea what that is, but I can't resist. I mean, one of my passions is finding these kinds of documentary-like DVDs and just putting them in the player and just seeing what it is. I love stuff like this. Dishonored, I've actually had for a year. I got this for my birthday last year, and I still haven't played anything. I haven't played a game since, I think, Soma was the last proper game that I played in like September 2022. So I haven't played a game in almost 2 years. So I gotta try and do something about that. I guess I have played some short games or some, parts of games that I never got into. But I haven't played a complete, like, big game since Soma, which is phenomenal, by the way. But yeah, I gotta get back into gaming. It's just, I just don't know what to play. Like, I'm the kind of person, I have a broad taste when it comes to music, movies, video games. Not so much. I tend to like narrative games. I tend to like exploration games. Like if you let's say you're dropped out, I would drop down into an environment, and it's your job to figure out what happened. Like What Remains of Edith Finch. I love that game so much. I play that game twice in a row. I played it on, let's say, Friday, and then I played it on Saturday as well. And then when my dad was over here, like a couple of years ago, we watched a film, we ate some pizza, and I had to show him a couple of games just for fun. I never, like me and my dad, we haven't sat, in front of a game, sat down with a video game since I was a kid. So that was kind of interesting. But I showed him parts of What Remains of Edith Finch, and he obviously didn't really get it. But it was fun to be able to show a game to somebody like that. I just never do that. I did talk to my cousin years ago after Last of Us 2 came out, that like I really want us to sit down and play Last of Us 1 and 2 together, so that I can show you what gaming is all about. Like if you don't play games, you don't really know what the potential is. I remember my sister once, years and years ago, when I told her that. So I just said, I talked about a game, and I said like, so the plot of the game, and she just started laughing instinctively, because a video game to her was Mario Kart or something like that, or Yoshi, not something with a story. But that was a bit of an eye-opener for me. I was like, right, if you don't play video games, maybe you don't really know what the potential of them are. Oh man, I thought about this yesterday. When I played Last of Us 2, that was such a particular part of my life. Because we had a cat. My mom bought a cat that I included a short clip of, or a series of clips at the end of like an update video, I think. in between December 2019 and like June 2020. And I helped taking care of the cat quite a lot. It was quite an intense period of me seeing this cat grow old or grow up. He could be a bit of a cunt, as cats can be, but he was a wonderful cunt. That was a horrible thing to say. I should cut that out. Nah. Anyway, he was he was a lovely creature, really. So when we had to get rid of him, and my mom, she wasn't really able to keep him. She really tried. The cat wanted none. He wanted to be outside all the time, and it was just a very, very difficult for her. So, but it was very hard for me to have to say goodbye to the cat. So the cat is now fine. I mean, this is 4 years ago. So I mean, I got over it eventually. But I was really sad for a moment, for a portion of my life there. And anyway, a friend of my mother's, she has the cat now, and she has a bunch of other animals. So I think he's happy there. But anyway, I was really sad, and I thought I need to do something with this sadness. I need to turn that energy into something else. And this is exactly when Last of Us Part 2 came out. So I purchased Last of Us Part 2. I purchased CBD oil, which had recently become legal in Sweden. I thought, oh, let me try that. And I bought pepperoni pizza every day. And I did nothing but those things for like a week or a few days, or however long it took me to beat the game. And it was such an intense part of my life. It was just those few things. It was an utterly mundane existence, but those few things allowed me to escape into another world. I take this sadness and direct it into some other energy, into a video game. So video games can be so fucking helpful, man. And games like that, they don't really come around that often. And when it comes to movies and music, I like finding the obscure things. Not to be special, but I genuinely find that there are many, many interesting films that don't get talked about, and so on. With video games, I'm a little bit different. I tend to like maybe the bigger ones, not because they're big, but because they really tend to move me. They tend to really get to me. That's a whole other discussion. But yeah, the CBD oil didn't really do much for me, but for some reason I liked it. Somebody said, I mean, it's not a narcotic, obviously. It's the THC, I guess, which is the substance that makes you high. But the CBD, I mean, some people say that it doesn't add anything. It doesn't add something, but it removes something, perhaps. So if you have anxiety and you notice that, oh, I don't really have a lot of anxiety anymore, maybe it's the CBD oil. Anyway, so it could have been something like that I didn't really notice that clearly, but for some reason I liked it. And the pepperoni pizza, Last of Us Part 2, it was a cold summer. I was outside in my hoodie running errands, then I came home, played Last of Us. I don't know, it was just a lovely kind of melancholy part of my life, utterly mundane, like I said. I was sitting right there in my couch and I was playing Last of Us Part 2. Well, I didn't plan on talking about this, but I was just trying to think, like, what other video games do I want to play right now? And I don't know. I have Tacoma on my PS4. I really want Last of Us Part 3 to come out. I have had a hunch ever since, well, a few years back, that it is happening, but who knows. Little Nightmares 3 is coming out, but that's like from a different studio. Anyway, I don't really know. There's nothing immediately that I'm thinking right now that I want to play. I mean, the company that made Limbo and Inside, they've been working on their new game forever, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on anymore with that. But eventually, I guess it's gonna come out. That Game Company, I think it's called. Yeah. So I'm just, man, I'm really craving a good game, but I'm really picky. Like I said, I like narrative games, exploration games. I don't like combat. I don't like, you know, you know, combinations. Like I played God of War years and years ago, and I really enjoyed it. But after a while, like the first one, but after a while they kept introducing so many different button combinations, and I'm like, I don't like stuff like I get really overwhelmed, and I don't find any pleasure in stuff like that. I like gameplay if it's satisfying and simple, but I don't like when you add all these elements. I get lost and bored. Um, and I prefer games that take place in reality, like just being dropped off in a house, a deserted house or something like that, and you're just wandering around. You're taking your time. You're looking things up, and it's really immersive. Like I think, I mean, I love films like that too. I love really mundane, boring films that take forever to tell anything, but when they get there, they really have achieved. I mean, they've really uncovered something, and you need time for this. Maybe it's similar with me in games to a certain extent. Um, I played a small game actually. It's not that I just play big games. It just tends to be the ones that I've found pleasure in. But I do like small exploration games as well, to the extent that I am able to play them, you know. But I played a game called Sagebrush a few years ago, and man, I don't know what it was about that game. It was just something so fucking haunting and atmospheric and ethereal about that game. I don't know. I love games like that. Yeah. So, anyway, gaming talk over. Where's the lens? I don't know. I can't see it. You can tell I've been awake. I have lines under my eyes. I always have those. I thought I was getting old because I noticed that I had lines. I am getting old, but I noticed that I had, you know, lines here. And stuff like that obviously is gonna get worse with age. But I've been, you know, watching all these videos back. And by the time you see this, the portrait video that I made will have been published, probably. So that's the stuff I've been looking through. I mean, and other stuff as well. But I've noticed looking through my old videos that I had those lines earlier on as well. So there's that, I guess. I'm tired. I'm gonna blame it on that. Okay, so I've ordered my pizza. It's always a bit of a guess or a gamble when you order, because sometimes it doesn't take very long. Now it says an hour, 15 minutes. Hopefully that's inaccurate, which sometimes it is. Often it is. So, you know, I thought that it was gonna take half an hour or something, because they literally just opened. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna order first, so so they can take care of my order instantly, and come over here with it, because I live very close by. I could walk over to the pizzeria and get my food faster, but the delivery is free, and it's just nice to get it home, I suppose. But yeah, let's hope that it doesn't take that long, because I am hungry and quite tired. Did I clarify that I was gonna buy a pizza? Well, I usually do once a month or something like that, but it's always in the evening. So this is gonna be a bit of a different experience. Sleep deprived in the afternoon, eating a big pizza, and I ordered. I don't know why, but I ordered French fries. French fries as well. Do you want French fries with that? Yes, and I'm gonna pay handsomely for it. I'm not gonna be able to eat everything, and I don't have a functioning refrigerator just fuck it, I don't care. I just want my food, you know. I don't even know what I'm doing today. I have been really productive over the past couple of days. Like I said, I think I was gonna talk about this, but then I was sidetracked. But I was gonna say before a long time ago now that I have been not only working on the books, but I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. I haven't really been sitting down to relax a lot. I've really tried to keep on top of things, so I feel really good about that. And I was two days ago, I was running errands, and I was filming some stuff as well. And I realized that when I got home, I had been away for 3 hours, which I usually I'm not away from home that long. If I just have a few errands to run, it doesn't take that long. But yeah, so I had about 11,000 steps, which is okay. But a lot of that time was like standing around in like a second-hand shop looking for stuff and scouting for locations, kind of, for a video. I don't know. Well, let's see how long the pizza takes. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna watch some Shirley Curry play Skyrim. I love her roasting of the NPCs. She's so funny. She's almost 90 and she's playing Skyrim. And she's very clever with her commentary. I have never played Skyrim. I have for an hour and a half, but I got so painfully bored so painfully quickly. I just hated it. I hated it. So I just could not go further. But I'm enjoying her playthroughs. They're really quite pleasant and endearing. Okay, you know the 2001 music, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, whatever it's called? Cue that now in your minds. There it is. This is... feels kind of strange to eat this at this time. That's better than the chocolate. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, this is too much food. But I'm gonna eat until I'm full, and I guess I'll have to throw the rest out. It's not great, but this is as open, as honest as I can be today with my bad choices. This is kebab with garlic sauce, lettuce, and red onions, and also tomatoes and cucumber and pepperoni. Oh, where's that? All right. Yeah, that's not great. But I'm gonna have to put it in the oven for a little while because it's not super warm anymore. Okay, I'm about to black out right now, so I'm gonna see you tomorrow when I will be regretting this decision. Okay, so I'm doing some exercises, but you can't see. You can see maybe some of the shadow behind me. Anyway, I'm raising my legs above the ground, my knees above the ground, and then I can lower them down again from my lower back. My nose is completely stuffed. Yeah, so that happened. I feel okay today. Like I felt a bit sick before, but it's not like it's a big surprise. You know, you wake up the next day and then you're like, oh, what did I do? Like, no, I knew what I was doing. Like that whole pizza and the fries was probably 3,000 calories, and I actually ate most of it. I was able to put some of it in the oven overnight, not with the oven on or anything, but it actually stayed fresh until the next day. So I had lunch, and then I had nothing else, because I'm not hungry. But yeah, so I really have nothing to add. But I've had such a good productive week. I've gotten all kinds of work done. So, I mean, the thing I said about deserving a pizza obviously is not true. I always think of Scooby 1961, who is like a YouTube bodybuilder, like an old curmudgeon, or a self-described curmudgeon, He says, you don't deserve shit, which is kind of true. If you have the mindset that you deserve things all the time, you're not going to make any progress. But, I don't know, sometimes a pizza to heal the wounds. Not that I didn't even feel badly yesterday. I don't know what I'm talking about. But somehow it just felt like all the work accumulated over the week led me towards that bit of indulgence. Anyway, it's been a good week, and it was actually a good day yesterday. I don't usually get out of breath from doing this, but maybe it's the fact that I can't breathe through my nose or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I fucked up yesterday and I'm feeling fit. Never mind. Let's check the fridge in a moment, see if it works. I'm gonna plug it back in, and hopefully it works. All right. It's gonna take a while before I know whether it's working or not. But let's push this back in. I need both hands for that. Right, so I'll check back in a while. Meanwhile, I've sold some more things. You know, this is a little pamphlet. You know, I got like $8 for this. You know, this could have been so easily thrown out just in some, you know, bag or some box, and then this like $10, like, you know, not too bad.
Truly, guess what? I draw my own designs.
All right, I have my endless comedy podcast to keep me busy. I've gotten some work with the books done. I keep selling these books pretty quickly. That's nice. I mean, she had so much obscure stuff that some of the things that, you know, they I mean, if I upload, you know, hundreds of obscure little things, a few of them are bound to sell pretty quickly. Anyway, so they are a bit time consuming to list compared to DVDs, because I'm used to listing DVDs for sale. But I got this and this done, and then I have to do that still. And so this is the stuff that's sold on here, and a couple of things in these piles that I just listed. And yeah, I moved the shelf in here, so it's good. Now I just need to clean up a bit here because it's so messy in here. But I think with the shelf being gone, I'm gonna try to clean up a bit, maybe organize the boxes and the bags in a bit more efficient way, and maybe clean up a bit, vacuum clean a bit, and greet all the spiders that are going to be in here. That's fine. Let's see if I have to go to the store now and do some grocery shopping. Well, let's see. I haven't opened this since I plugged it in before several hours ago, so I guess here goes nothing. See if it's working. Yes, it is. The trick worked once again. Now, last time I did this, the fridge lasted for almost a couple years. So let's hope that I won't have to do this again until 2026. Let's just check, just to be safe, if the freezer is working. Yeah, I mean, the freezer has only stopped working like once. Every other time it's been the fridge. So I wasn't too worried about that. But that's good. So now I can do a little bit of grocery shopping, and then I can pick up the groceries at my mother's place maybe today or tomorrow. But yeah, this feels good to get all this done. You know, I don't want to be crass about it, but you know, I have to say that I'm thankful that my grandmother saved all these things, because she had a lot of rare stuff, and it's sort of giving me a little bit of business here. I've had this stuff for a year, and you know, without touching it, I just can't see anyone asking for it, and this was sort of the deal all along. I mean, I took them under the assumption that I was gonna eventually sell them on. I mean, you know, nobody else wants this. Wants all these books, and my grandmother is not gonna be able to read them anymore. You know, it's, yeah. So I have to say I'm thankful for that. Let's see. Just to demonstrate, I did sell this magazine here. I decided to list this. This is well, you might know him from Roxette, but he is maybe more famous where I'm from for a different band called Gyllene Tider. Per Gessle, he is from the city that I'm from, and this is only like a little obscure magazine, 15 pages. I know he's very popular, and magazines like this that focuses in on somebody like him for a couple of pages. I mean, I think does he own this hotel, or is he a shareholder or something like that? But I knew that this was going to be kind of attractive for a lot of people who collect stuff with him. So I just put an arbitrary price, about $12, and it sold immediately. So again, I shouldn't make this all about money, but well, there you go. I'm gonna leave now for the store. That's the pizza place where I bought the pizza a couple days ago. It's been there for decades, or a couple decades at least, and their food is still addictive. God damn. There's a graduation going on, and a whole horde of them came up behind me with their fucking whistles, as if my as if my tinnitus wasn't bad enough. Looks like they're gonna have a party here, maybe over the weekend. I'm not having a party. I'll tell you why in a moment. What I mean is, I'm not having a party at the moment. I'm kind of annoyed at the moment. I bought some detergent, and I don't know if you can't really tell, but it's a big mess down there. I had to throw it out on the way home. I smelled something. I think I thought I walked past somebody and they smelled nice, and then after a while I noticed that the smell, the scent, flowery, soapy scent, it became stronger. And I thought, wait a minute, has my laundry detergent broken in my bag? And of course that is exactly what happened. So now I'm gonna have to wash all my groceries because they are sticky. And I'm getting kind of nervous about this expensive thing, which I shouldn't have bought to begin with, because they're kind of expensive and not the healthiest. But at least now my refrigerator works, so I can just have some now and then over the next few days. But I'm kind of nervous because this is not exactly vacuum sealed, and the detergent broke like 20 minutes back. So and then I had to walk, of course, with the scent of the detergent all over the food on my way home. So I'm kind of nervous that it's had time to infuse here in the meantime, or during that time. So hopefully not, because I want to have a small piece of this now. I'm gonna have to wash everything else off though. I bought some Billy's pan pizza. Again, I shouldn't have bought that. I bought some sourdough bread, some caviar, and some eggs under here, and some apples. So not the absolute healthiest shopping haul today, but not too bad. I just need to take care of this now. God damn it. I mean, I've had beer and milk break in my bag before, other bags that I've then either washed or just had to throw out. So I guess detergent is a step up, but it's still annoying as hell. And I had to throw it out on my way home because it was, I don't even know how it broke, but I couldn't carry it. It was just, dropping detergent on the ground all the time, so I had to throw it out. Oh well.
My life. I'm having fun. Somewhere there's someone in the backseat going.
Alright, it's actually kind of pleasant work, this. It is difficult to categorize everything. I found some really interesting stuff. The oldest book that I've found is from 1878, actually. But I have some stuff that I need to go and ship, and then I have a bunch of things. I can't do it all at once. It just, there's a few different reasons why it's a bit problematic to do everything at once at the post office. But yeah, it might not look any cleaner here, but I have cleaned up a bit and I know where everything is. All the boxes I know kind of where to find now. So, but this is very dirty now from having pulled everything out and organized, so I have to vacuum clean. But I have more stuff to list before I'm gonna bring up the fourth box. But yeah, it feels good to be busy with this. And like I said, I've sold a bunch of things. I also sold this Sports Night. This was my own that I sold on. I tried watching this a few years ago. I think I saw maybe one season, and then I just couldn't really get into it. I like Felicity Huffman from before, and I like, what's his name from Parenthood, and was he in 6 Feet Under, or where have I seen him? Well, I've sold this. I got $50 for that, I think, so that was good. I've never had a binge eating disorder, but I always had a problem with over purchasing things, not eating them all at once, but finding some kind of comfort in all of the food. And I don't do this anymore. Like this, I mean, I bought the pizza, I thought that was maybe gonna be it, and then I bought some other snacks. Actually, I don't think I bought some other snacks, right? And then I bought the shrimp thing, and now I am absolutely ashamed of myself. I figured if I include this in the video, I certainly don't want to, but it's gonna force me to take some accountability for this if I do include it. Because if I keep doing this, and if I keep vlogging, it's going to become very, very apparent very soon that I am not losing weight anymore, but it's gonna be the opposite. You know, I wanted some ice cream and maybe one of these, but then I saw these chip nuts. So I've had these with sour cream and onion and with barbecue. They are delicious. So I found the red, sweet red paprika. I had never seen these before. I had to try them. These Norwegian chili cheese chips I've heard are good. And then I just wanted some cheese curls, and then I found these lemon bites that I liked back in the day, and then I found this nice looking box of like chocolate chip butter biscuits, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy everything. And I don't know what happened. I just couldn't help myself. So I'm not gonna eat this all. I mean, it's Saturday today. I have been productive, but I've also fucked up tremendously this week with diet. Like this is something I used to do. I would buy even more than this. I would just go to the store when I had money, and I would just buy everything I wanted to eat and not worry about it because it made me feel good for the moment. And you know, I don't do this anymore. I really don't. So I hope this is the last time. Well, so I'm happy that my fridge works again, but my freezer, I mean, it's been plugged in for like a day or two, and already I couldn't open the bottom drawer properly because ice forms at the bottom like this. Like, look at that. That is from like a day or two. Like, I don't know why that keeps happening. It just kind of trickles down somehow, and then it, you know, it freezes underneath the bottom drawer, and it prevents me from opening it up. So I have to open up this one and take this off, and then put stuff down from the top. Problems. So I mean, it's working now, but it's still giving me these problems. Let's hope I won't get wet, because that looks kind of bad, and I'm heading in that direction. There's definitely something about skies that they are so foreboding and impacting. It's obviously nature and the grandness of the sky, unobstructed. You know, whenever movies include shots of the sky, moody shots of the sky in like a well-placed part of the film, it always makes the scene better. It makes the movie better. I don't know what it is about the sky. The film 2046 by Wong Kar-wai has one shot of the sky in that manner, and it's just perfect. I don't know, it's the cherry on top somehow. Yeah, I noticed in the last vlog that the door looks absolutely awful. I mean, I don't think about it because I'm so used to it. But inside here it looks nicer, I would argue. But when I included that in the vlog, the door outside here, I noticed that people must think it looks so trashy because it really does. It looks run down outside. But that is not really up to me to fix. It's sort of my landlord's problem, I feel like. Okay, it's early Monday morning, I think 6-7 a.m. I have three, you can't see them, but I brought out 3 boxes of books. I thought that was gonna be it, but I realized that there's a lot more here than I thought. So here's a 4th one, here's a 5th one, and in there are 2 more, which I suspect are also books. I was gonna carry everything up to the apartment just to kind of get an idea of everything I have. This might be a bit too much to carry up right now, I don't really know, but I'm gonna keep looking. Well, so I'm just continuing, and I'm finding something random called When Skåne Disappeared. This is the province in the south of Sweden, and I thought, well, this looks kind of interesting, but I have no reason to think that this is anything special. So I look it up, and okay, there's something here, one up for sale. Let's click finished listings. This has sold for the equivalent of like $70. So some of these things are quite rare. Really cool to find all the... I realized that every clip I film for this video, it's like me resetting, like not having made a clip like this for a day or two, and then I end up saying about the same thing, you know. It's really cool to see what you can find. But that is continually what I keep thinking. But that's kind of neat. Man, many hours later now, this work is kind of rewarding, I have to say. It's kind of funny today because I've listed so many different things. I've listed the biggest books so far, like 2.5 kilo books. And then I've listed the smallest books. Well, actually not quite. I have had even smaller stuff than this. But this is like these, well, they're like songs from like the 50s and all these old songbooks, textbooks from the 40s and 50s and maybe even earlier than that. I actually sold 5 already. So, you know, you never know what you're gonna find. I have to say that I enjoy this work. I'm only stopping now because my back is hurting really badly. But yes, I just love going through this. I can't tell you exactly why, it's just such a fun journey.
The people at night?
Yeah,
Here we are again a couple of days later. I'm doing my thing. I have to move my, if you don't like, if you're a little bit squeamish, I mean, there's about to be a little bit of blood. It's not that graphic, but I really should move these. I feel like I should make a mental note. I should be able to establish a mental note that the dumbbells are there, but for some reason I can't. So I just keep walking into them, and I'm gonna have to clean this up. But I walked into them badly. It's throbbing. This has happened one time before, and it took a while before the bruising to go away and what have you. But that is, you know, when you walk into an inanimate object and you just the boiling rage, you know, you can't take it out on anyone. Not that I would normally either, but you know, for some reason I don't usually get annoyed with people in the same way that I get annoyed with objects. And more Theo Von. I mean, I'm listening to nothing but Theo Von. I found this about mushrooms. Kerstin, congratulations from your father on your 10th birthday, whatever, you know, roughly translated. So my grandmother has had this for 80 years. She saved this book that she was given on her 10th birthday. So here's another mushroom book from 1936. I don't know exactly why, but there's something in my mind that can't quite compute that these printed images are 85 years old. I mean, they look really quite nice. And I didn't necessarily realize that you had nice images like this from books that are that old. I mean, I don't know what it is about them that makes them feel newer to me. Maybe I'm crazy, but they just look nice for 1936. I don't know, it's the quality of them and the brightness. They're I don't know. It just kind of looks newer to me. And here's a book that says August Enquist, my grandmother's last name. I should know, I feel kind of embarrassed, but I don't know if that was her grandfather, maybe her father. This would have been 45. Now, this has to have been her yeah, no. No, this is not her father. But what I thought was cool is that he wrote this name down here, 1886, and the book is from 1885. So it's kind of like a time document. This book was 1 year old when this guy wrote his name in it. I always find those things kind of cool. I don't know how long it's been since the last clip. It's been several days, but I found something that to me was quite interesting, but I didn't really know much about this. But I looked this up, and this has sold for, I mean, the condition is not perfect, but it's still quite nice. This has sold for well over $100 several times, it seems like. So I didn't expect, I mean, this is definitely the most rare thing that I've found, and I'm almost done. Like, these piles are the last few piles. So I did find a book here that I listed up for auction. It was so unclear what this was worth. It doesn't seem like it's that valuable. It's, you know, certain editions of this this book in the middle here. That's the title, with illustrations by Jon Bauer. Some editions have been quite valuable, others haven't. There were a few editions just like this one, which looked quite similar anyway, that sold for, you know, hundreds of dollars. But then on a different website, the same edition sold for maybe $50. So I don't really know. It's very hard to interpret that information. So I've just listed that up for auction. It doesn't seem like it's gonna sell for much, but I couldn't really. I mean, for a while I was getting my hopes up for this one, but then it just it seems like it's not one of the valuable editions. But it was so hard to understand the listings, the previous listings, so I just had to sell that on auction. I'm using an umbrella for the first time in years, which is a strange thing to say, but it's true. I was just over at my mom's house, and I said I want to leave now before the rain and possibly the thunder starts. Of course, right when I get outside, there's like a fucking torrent coming down. So I'm glad that actually my mom gave this to me. I recently said in a vlog that I needed to invest in an umbrella. I'm not sure if she saw that or if I talked about it with her, but yeah, this came in really handy now.